Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the Mr. Baby podcast. Some may call this the beta episode, and some may call all future episodes that as well. So, God, it's been a horrible slog to watch baseball. And it's mostly the product on the field, but it's also this weird amount of off days, a rain out, random start times. I feel so discombobulated, and then having to watch the team has been not good. It's confounding. I keep thinking, like, the whole point of baseball is that it's random, and on any given pitch anyone can basically do anything, and it's felt like that's not the case with the Blue Jays, honestly, for a year and a half, something like that. It's just lacked random distribution, it's felt like. I mean, today, Thursday, I found out the Colorado Rockies are on a 7-game win streak, which is bonkers. And everyone kind of remembers last year they just did not go on a streak. They won 89 games and didn't go on a streak. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe that's what true randomness is, that it's not been random at all. It's been pretty much going through the motions. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 2 losses, 2 win, 1 loss. No one's kind of captivated an emotion for a long period of time besides despair. And I'm not a negative guy. I don't really want to be that negative on something I watch all the time. Otherwise, God, get up and go do something else. But I'm not doing that. I've anchored myself to baseball, and I'm not pulling it up. But yeah, and right, sometimes you just think nothing ever good happens to you. I try to think of all the players and who's had a true nonstop, maybe it's not nonstop, but it feels nonstop Linsanity run, if you will, if we may use professional jargon. Right? You look around and you don't want to be like, they have everything, I have nothing. But those Minnesota Twins came in, and all those guys just had insane numbers. And you're like, no one on the team I watch is randomly doing that. As they should. That's a baseball season. Chris Colabello steps up in 2015 because that's a baseball season. And Davis Schneider's had kind of some Linsanity. Maybe that's a combination of he's good, he's playing. Justin Turner had one and now it's completely gone completely mitigated. He has just normal numbers. None of the big bats. Maybe you have to turn to pitching. Barrios, absolutely. Linsanity run. Kikuchi, who's just kind of looked good doing it. That's the difference. Barrios, it's been talked about before. He looks fun. He's an awesome watch. But he'll never stop giving up hard contact. And if he does, he'll be really good. But he's still good with that. His value is being a known commodity, being something you don't have to think twice about. He's starting every fifth day forever. And that there's certainty. He's certainty. And he might be a 3.5 ERA guy, 4.5 ERA guy, but he's kind of the same pitcher no matter what in there, because it's innings, right? He's just here to give a lot of innings, quote unquote, a lot of innings. We're in the year 2024. 180 is a workhorse, which is embarrassing, as everyone knows. But that's fine. That's fine. But Kikuchi's kind of done away with the walks, has much more overpowering stuff, can touch 98. Barrios doesn't really do that. And he'll have a start that, weighs down his yearly numbers, because again, not to tell everyone what baseball is, but a lot of baseball is, if you think about it, a batter going 1 for 4 most every night, and then every so often he hits a home run, has some walks in there, and it may have a run of a couple home runs. But otherwise, like zoomed very far in, most likely someone's going 1 for 4. And then, you put together a really good month, maybe 2 really good months, and you have a great year. That's kind of how a baseball season works. You kind of tread water and then find your time to just go off. And I think about that. And then I think about how early on, we're still early. Seeing someone with insane numbers, say, if I see someone coming to the plate batting 380 and it's still middle of May, I'll be like, oh, I want to face that guy because his numbers have to come down. Why not have that start now? And then vice versa, someone's hitting 150, I go, gosh, don't want to see this person with runners on base. And that's where my head is at. I wanted everyone to know that early on. I go, how is this batter going to end up with their yearly stats? Is a slump coming or is a hot streak coming? And there has to be one for George. Like, again, to go back to baseball's supposed to be random, a good friend texted me to go look at Kevin Pillar's slash line. And I think it's a 180 weighted runs created plus 4 home runs. Like, that's what baseball's supposed to be. And no one is doing that batting right now. Everyone's kind of average at best. And George will have a hot streak, and he will put up normal numbers, but oh man, I've said it before. He just always looks like he has the flu. Like he's just so tired. He just seems so tired. I feel so bad for the guy. Like I just want him to lay down. He's just at that point. But it'll come. It's baseball. And yeah, I remember trying to look at how they're not putting up randomness like other teams. And it was early, and I was looking at the bottom feeders in runs scored and see like how many times do they score 5 or under, 5 or over. And I think honestly the Jays were just so consistently boring, whereas Oakland would maybe do something like, not as much, not a ton, but like, 10 runs, 0, 0, 0, 6, 0, 0, whatever adds up to a bad score, but you can remember that they scored a bunch of runs once. So that sticks in your mind as someone who doesn't watch another team all that much. You're like, how are they good and we're bad? Because we're on the team. And it's just, right? That's the belief of baseball, that it's random, and it's just testing how much you can hold on to that. Because, God, it just doesn't feel random. But that's what's been on my mind, Blue Jays wise. Another thing, text a couple people. The Jays are back. They're above last year's defensive standard. They catch the hell out of the baseball. And that's kind of how they put together any of their wins. Like, Gausman's been bad. He's had some good ones. He won't be bad going forward, fingers crossed. Bassett, same deal. Manoah, same deal. Love Yariel. He gave us some rockets. Like, the Jays have just kind of done something other teams just don't do, and they just like catch the ball to a win. Which is like, God, just add a couple more things and it's really going to be good. It's really going to be good. Which is optimistic. That's been on my mind. IKF, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, is such a fun second baseman. He kind of fields the ball with this swag that's really cool. Like he just is a good defender. Ernie's the same. Varsho's back up to what he does. Yeah. And this is my 3-week anniversary of being off Twitter. And I don't want to tell anyone how to live their life, but you got to get off. You got to get off of it. I've been productive-ish. I've just been... The big thing is you don't see stuff you hate. Which, yeah, you loved hate reading stuff. But you know what's even better than hate reading stuff? Just not seeing it at all. Like, try it. I'm telling you. And I've always just had to have my phone out because I'm still glued to it. You can't not. I'm less, but still. And sometimes I like to play 2048 and watch ball just to get my fingers moving and doing something. So addicting. I hate that game. Because it's a classic game of you're just mad when you lose. It's not, you never win really. Play it like you can lose 10 minutes in a second and you just leave mad. incredible. I've been learning guitar, and I had a book. I had a book I was learning out of, and it was tough. I just couldn't put it together to see what a final product would be. And I started Googling tabs of just try like simple songs. I Googled, what did I Google? I Googled Hole's Celebrity Skin, because that's low key one of the best riffs like ever. Like ever. It's so good. And I found out like that one's even harder than all the easy ones. All the easy ones, your fingers are in the same position and you stay on the same strings. You're playing a power chord. And it's like, holy shit, sorry for swearing, I no longer have any respect for guitars. And if you don't play guitar, literally go do it now. Like, no, you'll look at guitars differently. Like, and then I was thinking about some of these albums that took 2 years to make. I'm like, listening, like, oh my God, you're doing power chords chromatically. How did you, the people indulge themselves. It's a whole nother, we're not going to talk about that. We're not, unless you want to. But thanks for coming along. God, I hope it gets better. Might not. See ya.